Alright, so let's talk about d.u.s.t, because that's all the rage right now, and I was asked to. Do I think it's a troll or something like that? I don't know. I don't have the qualifications to give an opinion. I am not qualified to say whether or not his shit is legit, or he's just joking, or he thinks it's legit, but he just sucks at life. I don't know. And I apologize if it's getting redundant at this point, but I just want to explain my position, why I won't criticize him, and why I don't criticize anyone for anything they do. Why? Because I have not been in a life or death fight. We've all seen internet videos where some champion MMA fighter is just stomping people in the ring, one right after another, taking on every opponent he can. And then he goes and gets in a bar fight and he's wiped across the floor by people that have zero experience, if any, except for in street fighting. An MMA fighter, he's got a cage around him. He doesn't have to worry about other opponents. He has a ref watching his back to make sure nothing crazy happens. There are rules. He doesn't have to worry about his opponent putting on a pair of brass knuckles, or pulling out a switchblade, or a machete, or a pistol. He knows what to expect. So, he goes up against these amateurs that don't play by rules. They bring on multiple opponents. They run up behind him with a 2x4 and put him in a coma. He doesn't know what to expect. Yes, one-on-one, he would mop a person all day long as they don't produce a weapon. Once the weapon comes into play, it's a whole different dynamic and everything changes. And that's why I'm not going to criticize the guy, and that's why I don't think anybody should criticize anybody unless they've been in a life or death fight. Whether that's a gunfight, okay, now you understand how people react, because how you react on some sort of training course is going to be completely different when there's actually a possibility you're going to die. How you react in an MMA ring is completely different to how you're going to react if somebody pulls out a giant-ass machete and they're running at your family. Yeah, training helps, but usually what I typically see win a fight is somebody that's able to identify an opportunity and take advantage of it. Yeah, the training helps you be able to identify that opportunity, but there's no guarantees. What if they identify the opportunity first and they have zero training? You're highly trained, but they identified an opportunity where they caught you slipping, they took advantage of it, monopolized on it, and beat you. Again, I've never been in a life or death fight. I can't speak and say this guy's doing it wrong, or this guy's doing it wrong, or this tactical class is wrong, or this tactical class is wrong, because I don't know. I've never been in a gunfight. I've never had to sit behind a log hearing bullets zing past me and try to determine when is the best time to fire back at them. And that's the only way you're going to know, is if you've actually been there. Same with a street fight. That's the only way you're going to know how to do a street fight, is if you've actually done street fights with real weapons, with real people trying to inflict deadly damage on you. So let's go back to the video. The only fights I've been in have always been what I'm going to call good faith fights. It's never been to kill the other person. It's just to fuck up a little bit because they did some stupid shit. The ones I've seen, the ones I've personally been in, no, it wasn't a life or death situation, so I have no experience whatsoever in that kind of stuff. But in those types of fights, what usually wins is somebody that's able to identify an opportunity and exploit it. Like, this isn't a real fight because, obvious reasons, we won't be talking about anything real. But in this hypothetical fight, this fat, out-of-shape redneck is going up against somebody that's faster, stronger, and smarter. But that guy goes to look at his friend and be like, "Can you believe this guy?" And when he turns his head, BAM! He's down. Whether or not he's knocked out, it don't matter. He can't win the fight at that point because he's already taken too much damage and he can't think clearly. And that's typically what I see go down. Somebody will identify an advantage, whether that's striking first, using some sort of weapon or club, or catching the person off guard, and that's what wins the fight. Whether or not that person's more skilled or less skilled. So, do I think his stuff is crazy? I don't know. I can't tell you. When I go and watch footage, what I see is not somebody John Wicking a firearm out and then shooting someone. Regardless what skill they use, it never goes down that way. Maybe you have some surveillance footage somewhere that I haven't seen. I don't know. You can link it to me on Instagram or Facebook. But usually it goes down a couple of different ways. One, they never go up and put the gun on the person. If they want them dead, they shoot them as soon as they're close enough to where they know they can hit. Two, if the gun is successfully stripped away, it's because the person taking away the gun from the other person, that person that has the gun, has no intentions of harming the person that is trying to take the gun away. Or three, it's just two people wrestling around on the ground until a shot's finally fired, and whoever takes that shot is the loser. It's never the John Wick thing. It's guys on the ground punching each other, trying to wrestle the gun away from each other, and then get a shot off. That's what happens. I just don't see the martial arts moves that are constantly demonstrated. It's just two guys wrestling on the ground, or they're able to take it away because that person didn't want to shoot the other person, or they never even get close enough to where there's an opportunity for them to take the gun away because they actually want to kill that person, so they shoot them before that. Because why would you go up and put a gun on someone? It makes no sense. Your massive advantage with a firearm is distance. Distance. You don't get that close. Nobody in their right mind would get that close. But, whatever.